Hello, I am Eva Anggi from the Faculty of Law of Diponegoro University. I am here to tell you about my journey in learning English. My English learning journey started when I was little. My dad was a big fan of Western pop and rock songs, and he has a collection of English songs that he will play on speakers at home. Not only was little me introduced to a lot of old time bands, I was also introduced to English by his favorite songs. And so, that was how, when I was little, I was really familiar with English. At least I can say that I learned how the people with English as their mother tongue speak their language. I also learned some English words from the titles of the songs. Before I was introduced to those titles, I only knew a few basic English words. I think it was the word house that was my first word. It was such a milestone to me that I pronounced it many times. But of course, the journey didn't stop there. It was just an introduction to English for me. English was not my mother tongue. So, listening to my dad's English songs didn't make me know what the songs were talking about. Actually, I had zero idea of what they're talking about. My actual learning was when my dad introduced me to our first personal computer. The computer was in English, so I had no choice but to adapt to the language to be able to operate it, especially when I have to. Because the most interesting part of computers to the competitive little me was the video games. To win the game, I have to understand what the tutorials, the menus, and the in-game dialogues are talking about. One of the games that improved my vocabulary a lot was the vocabulary games, such as Pictionary and Scrabbles. I think I can say that it was like the original Duolingo. And then, my hobby didn't stop there. My dad also bought us a PlayStation. My first PlayStation was a PlayStation 1. After that, he also bought us a PlayStation 2. The English games on PlayStation was the biggest contributor to my English vocabulary, especially the one with a lot of dialogues, Harvest Moon. The basic English I got from home gave me the confidence to speak and teach English to my friends at school. They admired how I was able to read one of my friends' English storybook, and that fools me even more to learn English. But as they say, as you learn more, you learn even more that you've got a long way to go. This becomes even more serious after I met a lot of friends that speak fluently in English. That's when I knew one of my struggles in English was my listening and my grammar. But my friends' abilities were not just humbling me. It also taught me a lot of things about grammar, improved my listening, and gave me more vocabulary. I found out about how my English was improved from the message history. My old messages had many grammar flaws that I can now point out. I think I also improved a lot in listening to movie conversations, but I still need to see the subtitles. And thus, that was my journey in learning English. I think the biggest factor in my motivation in learning English was my hobby. So, when you want to learn English, I'd suggest starting by doing the things you love, whether it's watching movies, listening to music, or reading books. And of course, do it in English. Thank you for listening to my story and see you next time.